You know, there's this machine that's so common we barely even notice it anymore. But what if I told you the humble bicycle has shaped wars, sparked social change, and is still transforming our health and our cities in ways you probably can't even imagine? Okay, just let that number sink in for a second. Half, half of the entire world's population knows how to do this. That's, well, it's insane. It's more people than speak English as a first language. I mean, from Shanghai to Sao Paulo, riding a bike is this universal language that we all share.
So, what is it about this simple machine that makes it so darn powerful? It's obviously more than just two wheels and a frame, right? It's a tool for getting around, a vehicle for adventure. It's even been an instrument of war. So, what's the secret sauce here? Well, let's get into it.
All right, to really get a handle on this, we've got to go back, way back. We need to ask a really simple question. Why did we even start riding these things in the first place? And trust me, the journey from this kind of quirky Victorian novelty to a machine that's central to modern life, it's packed with surprises.
So, picture this. It's the 1890s, the golden age of cycling. Bikes are the hot new thing, all about leisure and this new sense of freedom. But that didn't last long. Armies quickly realized how stealthy and efficient they were. Japan, for example, used 50,000 bicycle troops when they invaded China. Fast forward to the Vietnam War, and you've got these reinforced bikes becoming the absolute workhorses of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, hauling supplies through impossible jungle terrain. And get this, it wasn't until 2003, pretty recently, that the world's very last bicycle regiment, over in Switzerland, was finally disbanded. So how does a machine go from a fun toy to a tool of war? Well, it's all because of one thing. The bicycle is just incredibly adaptable. And that adaptability, it comes right down to its design. The shape of a bike, its form, is completely tied to what it's built to do, its function.
Okay, let's look at two perfect examples. On one side, you've got your classic utility bike. It's all about comfort, right? The frame is relaxed, the steering is easy. It's perfect for just popping down to the shops. But then, on the other side, you have the road bike. This thing is a machine built for one purpose, pure speed. The rider is hunched forward, the wheelbase is shorter. Literally every single piece is designed to slice through the air and go as fast as possible. Two bikes, two totally different worlds. And yeah, that specialization really shows up in the price tag. You can grab a basic bike for maybe 50 bucks, but a high-end, custom-built machine, that's a serious investment. To put this in perspective for you, the most expensive bike ever sold, it was basically a work of art by Damien Hirst. It went for $500,000. That's more than a brand new Ferrari for a bicycle. So with all this diversity in design, it's no surprise that there's a huge diversity in how we use them. You can really boil it down to three main worlds of cycling. You've got using it for transport, riding for fun, and, of course, racing to win. So utility cycling, your daily commute, making deliveries, that kind of thing, that makes up the biggest chunk. But it's really in those other two worlds, recreation and racing, where you find some of the most passionate, die-hard communities that are built entirely around the love of the bike. And listen, within each of these worlds, the possibilities are just mind-blowing. Utility isn't just riding to work. It's paramedics in London on bikes, getting to an emergency faster than an ambulance stuck in traffic. Recreation isn't just a lazy Sunday ride in the park. It's an epic, multi-day bike tour across a country, or absolutely shredding it down a mountain trail. And racing? We're talking everything from the legendary, grueling Tour de France to the beautifully chaotic, muddy mess of a cyclocross race. Okay, so it's not all about getting from point A to point B, or winning trophies. For millions and millions of people, cycling is the key to a healthier body and a clearer, happier mind. And this isn't just wishful thinking, it's backed by some seriously solid science. So, just how powerful are we talking? Well, a Dutch study decided to figure that out. They weighed all the good stuff against the bad stuff, accidents, breathing in pollution, and the results are just staggering. They found that if you cycle regularly, you could add up to 14 months to your life. The risks? They cost you less than 40 days. That is a huge net gain. In the Netherlands alone, that adds up to saving about 6,500 lives every single year. And hey, it's not just about living longer. It's about living better. Cycling seriously cuts your risk of major diseases like cancer and heart disease. It's low impact, which is amazing news for your joints. And it's not just your body. The mental benefits are huge. Cyclists consistently say they have better mental health, feel less stressed, and there's even evidence it can help protect our brains as we age. So this begs a pretty big question, right? If cycling is this amazing tool for our health,
for everyone's health. Why aren't our cities built for it? Why don't they encourage it more? And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important part of this whole story, the road ahead and the fight to build a future that's actually friendly to bikes. What it really comes down to is a battle for the street. It's a choice. When cities design everything for cars, we're talking wide roads, one-way systems, huge roundabouts, the number of people cycling almost always drops. But when they flip the script and prioritize cycling with things like protected bike lanes and ways to slow down traffic, guess what happens? The number of cyclists either stays steady or, more often than not, it grows.
And if you want to see what's actually possible when you commit, just look at the Netherlands. They have 35,000 kilometers of bike paths that are physically separated from cars. That's a quarter of their entire road network. It's that kind of commitment that makes cycling safe, easy, and just a normal part of daily life for everybody.
So the big question is, how do we get there? Well, a lot of activists focus on a really smart framework they call the 4 E's. First up is education for everyone on the road. Next is encouragement, getting more people to give it a try. Then comes enforcement, making sure traffic laws actually protect people. And finally, the one that ties it all together, engineering, redesigning our streets to make cycling safe and totally intuitive for everyone, whether you're 8 years old or 80.
When you step back and look at it, it's pretty incredible. The humble bicycle. It's been a tool for war, a symbol of freedom, and a key to a healthier future for all of us. It just goes to show that sometimes the simplest ideas are the most powerful ones. The only real question left for us is, where will it take us next?